Welcome back to Come and See with Terry Lee. We are leaving Oswego, New York this morning out onto Lake Ontario, where this becomes the most expensive leg of our trip. In planning our trip, we would have been able to navigate through Canada and the Welland Canal to Lake Erie, but due to the extension of the COVID restrictions, we now have to hire a captain to take Matoaka through Canadian waters. Leaving Oswego and heading out onto Lake Ontario, Steve happened to notice the weather forecast was being broadcast in French. Need I say any more?
The French weather forecast for your viewing pleasure. Big winds will be following you this evening with high waves.
We had a beautiful day of travel on Lake Ontario to Bootleggers Cove in Wilson, New York. While traveling, our anxiety levels were high, knowing that we would have to turn our boat over in the upcoming days to another captain to take it through the Canadian waters. Upon arriving at Bootleggers Cove, we were pleasantly surprised to see this little jewel we would be spending the evening at. There was a restaurant directly behind our slip with live music we could enjoy from the back patio of Matoaka. Day 2 on Lake Ontario, we continue our travels to Youngstown, where we will meet up with our captain. As we made our way into the Niagara River, we were relieved to find a spot on the Youngstown Public Dock, where we will meet our captain and first mate for their departure the following morning to navigate the Welland Canal to Lake Erie. Good morning from Youngstown, New York. We're getting the boat ready to head out with the captain. We have a captain that we had to hire to take it down the Welland Canal because we're not able to go into Canada, Steve and I. So we're putting this little princess into Captain David's hands and his first mate. They're going to take her safely down the Welland Canal and meet us in Dunkirk, New York. So, safe travels. Captain Dave's navigation of the Welland Canal began at 6 a.m., consisting of 7 locks. Due to the lock delays and commercial traffic, it took 12 hours to navigate. Due to the delay, we had to get a hotel room in Dunkirk for the night. Captain Dave would bring Matoaka across Lake Erie in the morning. With an abundance of time and not a lot to do, Steve and I got creative.
Good.
This is what we do when we're trying to de-stress because somebody has their boat. It's gonna take 2 days to get to us.
Alright, looks like a few days later.
Somebody is very happy to be captaining his boat again. Despite all our fretting, the transition of Matoaka seemed to come off without a hitch. Lake Erie calmed and provided a much appreciated, uneventful day. After a few stressful days, we are looking forward to a peaceful anchorage near Presque Isle State Park.
What's the water, honey?
It's really nice.
Very nice.
Yeah.
He's working on the lift here.
Right.
Working on fixing the lift. So it goes up and down on a hill.
Yeah. Well, it's eroded. So I had
Zebra mussels and such.
to grab.
Right.
So yeah, no, the water's not bad. It's about 72.
We knew we had picked the right anchorage when the most photographed vessel on the loop arrived that afternoon, the Manatee. And boy, is she cute. We couldn't have picked a more majestic spot to conclude this segment of our journey. Beautiful sunset, peaceful anchorage, and a great place to give Steve an opportunity to smoke some ribs. Hope you're having a great week. We had a little fun putting this video together after a couple of stressful days.
Yeah, they were stressful.
Very stressful.
Yeah.
So the reason we're not able to go into Canada is because we had chosen not to get vaccinated.
Yeah.
So it would have been okay because the restrictions would have been done before
Right. Yeah.
we were going to get to that point, but then they extended it.
Surprisingly, the rest of the world is like, going to the UK or whatever. There's no vaccination mandates, and you can freely travel. And I know Canada was a little more restrictive, but they had said they were going to time out right around the end of July, which would have been the time we would have gotten there, and we would have probably done the Trent Severn. But we were like, oh man. So it was tough. I mean, look, however you feel about it, but we just chose not to do it. And so it was an expensive date, but whatever. You know, it was a couple $100 to get through the Trent Severn, a couple $100 for the hotel, and I think the captain was like $1,700 or $1,800. So
Through the Welland.
Through the Welland, yeah. Sorry, but he had 2 crew members. He brought one with him, and then he stopped at St. Catharines and picked up another because you have to have 3 people on the boat to do the transition. And
they're really big locks.
Yeah.
And very, very tall. Very tall locks. So.
Yeah. He thought, what, 10 hours?
Yeah, he thought he'd probably see us about 8 o'clock at night or so, and then we get a call. And he didn't even get to the last lock through the last lock till 11:30.
I was just glad I wasn't paying him by the hour.
Right.
Yeah.
And we were kind of happy that we weren't doing it either. It would have been
Right.
a really long day, and it was for them. But
Yeah.
they did get up early in the morning. They got over to us by 9 o'clock. You know, they had to go all the way across Erie, so
Yep.
they'd shoot across.
We made the best of Dunkirk.
Yeah. There's not much in Denver.
There isn't much. Yeah. So
Check.
check the box. Move along. So anyway,
yeah.
so yeah, if you like what you see, we really appreciate the like and subscribe. And Terry's going to put a little link like over here somewhere.
Something I learned how to do.
Yeah. So as we do this, we kind of learn as we go. So hope you enjoy it, and we'll see you next week.
Have a great week.
See you.